Hello, everybody, and welcome to Simply Cyber Live. Super excited to have you out there today. We've got a great show. Today, we're talking about RangeForce. Before we get into it, I want to give a special shout out. We are now live streaming both to LinkedIn, YouTube, as we always have, but also going out to that Twitch platform too. So Gerald, Simply Cyber, if you want to catch it on Twitch going forward. I do want to point out, and I'll be sharing this throughout the entire live stream, we are running a giveaway, and you can see it right here on the Discord server, which as soon as I'm done talking here, I'll put the link for you to join the Discord server. It's absolutely free. You jump on there and you hit that little celebration icon thing right there. You can enter. We are giving away to someone in this broadcast today a full platform license to RangeForce for an entire year. And this is like incredible value. So we're super pumped to be able to give it out, and we would love to engage with you on the Discord server. Also following the live stream, this is kind of a new thing. I will be jumping on this Clubhouse app. If you are in the Clubhouse, I'll be doing a post live stream where it's like basically just kind of chatting live with people one-on-one, or not one-on-one, like all of us chatting to each other following the talk. So if you're on Clubhouse, you can see the event right there. But enough about the semantics of what we're doing here. Let's get into the business. Today we are talking with both Stefan Waldvogel, who's the administrator of that wonderful Discord server and also an expert in the RangeForce platform, and VP of Technical Services and Product Design, Jeff Orloff. So gentlemen, welcome and thank you for being with us today.
Oh, it's great to be here, Jerry. Thanks.
Yeah,
thank you too.
Absolutely. So just to kind of level set for everyone, if we could just do a little introduction. Stefan, could you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
I think the most important thing is I arrived about a year ago in the US, and I realized I don't have the right skill sets to get a SOC job in cybersecurity. And so I did a lot of courses and some certs. And then like a couple of months ago, or a month ago, I found a bit about the RangeForce, and I got it for free actually as a small present. And at the moment I did like 100 modules already, and I really love it. And I want to share more about that.
Yeah, thank you, Stefan. Yeah, so Stefan is definitely an expert on the platform and has used it. And we're actually going to be doing some live walkthroughs and demos later on in the live stream. So totally excited about that. Jeff, same question to you, if I may. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure thing. Again, my name's Jeff Orloff. I'm the VP of Product Management, Technical Services over here at RangeForce. I've been working in cybersecurity and on the product side for about 9 years now. Before that, worked in system administration, long before cybersecurity was a specialization even. So, I'm kind of dating myself there. But it's just great to be in front of customers again and hearing what you guys have to say and just getting your feedback on the products and the training. Great to have Stefan here too, going through it. So he'll put on a good show for you all.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll bring it up while you're talking, Jeff. But for those of you, like many of us have been talking about RangeForce on LinkedIn, Twitter, and obviously in the Discord. But for those who are uninitiated or not really aware of what we're talking about when we say RangeForce, can you kind of tell us about RangeForce, both as a company, kind of where it came from, so we understand the background, and then about the platform itself?
Yeah, absolutely. So RangeForce was founded in 2015, and our co-founders, Tavi, Margus, and Giannis all met while they were working to build one of the NATO cyber ranges. So they all got together, and as they were building this out, they realized that in order to really participate in these full-blown cyber ranges, you had to have a lot of money, so something only like nation states could really put together, and you had to have really specific training. So these were for highly trained individuals that were working to really defend different national military organizations and other government organizations were working on. So they were looking to find a way to really bring this to enterprises and actually the actual security practitioners. So what they came up with was a really interesting way to bring that range into a small packaged module. And that's what we have now today through our virtual teaching assistant. So you can actually get that hands-on practice that you would get in a cyber range, but really segmented into those bite-sized chunks modules we offer.
Sorry, a little technical difficulty. I clicked the wrong button there, Jeff, but I think the audience caught that. Apologies to the audience on that live stream. So yeah, having those modules are really interesting, like the battle paths, and that's one thing that really interested me and actually brought me. I think there's a couple key differentiators, and I'm really curious on Stefan's perspective on this too. But one of those key differentiators to me was like how you have taken and bundled some curriculum and put it into a chronological order on the way that you should learn it and have it focused. So in my experience, in my opinion, one of the challenges getting into cybersecurity and really understanding it if you're new to the game is you're overwhelmed with like all these labs, red team, SIM, Splunk, like blue team, like you're almost overwhelmed with there's so much, where do I start? And maybe you actually do like a web app pen testing class, and then you do something around like Splunk, and they really don't map, and they're not helping you get necessarily a career path in the field. So these battle paths that you guys have developed in RangeForce, I think it's really well done to kind of, shape it for you as like almost like a mentor telling you like, this is the path you should execute on, and handing it to you and letting the student kind of, ingest it. So as far as the battle paths go, can you kind of elaborate a bit on them? I know that, there's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And really you said it best right there, where, we know that a lot of people when they're getting their start in cybersecurity, I mean, Stefan, you said it as well, that, where do I get going? What do I want to get into first? And even with, some of our other customers who are trying to train people that may be coming from IT and they've never worked in security. They don't quite know what it is, or they're just out of college or something and need that hands-on practice. That's where we came up with the battle paths, and you see that kind of repeating battle name throughout our different products, because we're really trying to prepare the next generation of cyber warriors for those adversaries out there. So what we did was we put things together that make sense in a curriculum to take you down that initial road to obtain like employment as a SOC analyst, and even to see if you want to go further in that. I think that's something important too. Like you said, people go in, they take something in pen testing, and they take something in Splunk, and they may not realize that these different jobs in cybersecurity have very specific functions. Like if you're a SOC analyst, really what you're doing is you're doing a lot of investigation and looking through logs, you're looking through emails, and really kind of, you want to be that investigator at that point. Whereas if you're more on the pen testing side, on the offensive security, you're looking for vulnerabilities, you're kind of looking for creative ways around those different defenses that that people put up to protect. So that's the other benefit of the battle pass, is it lets you explore different areas in security and really find which one you excel at or which one you're more interested in.
Yes, Stefan, what are your thoughts around, the battle paths as you see them, kind of from an end user perspective, and really an individual who's kind of a student of cybersecurity and wanting to, drink it all up?
I found it very interesting. I had like a little bit of red experience before that. So I started, of course, with the red side, and I found out these courses are sometimes very up to date. They use the newest CVEs. And I was thinking, wow, because usually courses are very old, and these courses are not like that. Later, I found out I have to go to the blue side because it's easier to get jobs. And SOC analyst maybe sounds great, and was okay. And then I realized, okay, I can even transfer knowledge, and RangeForce offers SOC 1, SOC 2, and threat hunting course. And they are they start very little. You can go step by step. I will show it later. And it's very easy to learn, actually. That's a great thing.
Yeah, and Stefan actually just hit on something that I think is really true. So another kind of challenge that I think is nice that RangeForce is addressing is that I feel like on the red side, or the offensive side, the pen testing side, the labs are often I don't want to call them easy to set up, but it's usually like building a vulnerable system, a single server, or, maybe a small network or something, but it's usually a single thing, and you attack it and you break it and you brick it and you own it and everything. And it's a little bit easier. Whereas to me on the blue side, yeah, you could do like forensics on an artifact, or you could do malware analysis, but like a SOC analyst, you need like a network, you need like network traffic and PCAPs to look at, and real telemetry in your SIM. And that's very, very difficult for a general end user, a student, if you will, to not just afford, but also to like actually configure and have good information. So then the lab is actually practical and worthwhile. So that's another thing that I appreciate about RangeForce, is that because it really focuses on blue team education and curriculum and learning, like that whole infrastructure piece is taken care of by the platform, and you really don't have to worry about setting it up or even really understand it. Was that the intent, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we noticed early on was that it's difficult sometimes to download those or VPN in, because you have to configure all these things on your end. And sometimes you don't have that capability, whether you're blocked by something in your organization, or if you're brand new to this, how do I set up a VPN? How do I download these virtual machines and build a network? And some people even run into restraints on their computing power and everything still to this day. So what we wanted was to provide something that was cloud-based and had all that ready for you to go. And again, when you look into this too, as a SOC analyst, you're not doing those things. You're not setting up, a virtual environment and the like. You're diving in and investigating right from the get-go. You look at something like our series on Splunk, and you don't have things like installing Splunk. You don't have how to ingest logs into Splunk, because that's covered very well in the Splunk training. We teach it from that SOC analyst side. So what do you need to go in and start looking at logs? What are you looking for in those logs? How do you sift through all the noise and find those IOCs that you need to be looking for?
Yeah, and so another interesting thing about, or at least I think it's interesting about RangeForce too, and I've seen some comments come up in here, and feel free to ask questions throughout the show for both Jeff and Stefan and me if you're feeling it, and we'll take them live. But one individual actually pointed out that the platform, the full license is $1,500. I do encourage you, Jeff. Who would they contact around pricing or anything like that? Because I just want to speak to the battle path piece in a second. But
oh yeah, no problem at all. There's a lot of different options we have available for the platform. So if you contact sales@rangeforce.com, they'll put you in touch with one of our representatives that'll get you on the right path, and really kind of help you find out what's the best offering that we can put you in.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things is it's not like a Boolean, like you purchase access and you get it. Like there's different tiers to it, which is what I want to emphasize, because if you want to be a SOC analyst, you can buy the SOC training, and like it's more affordable, frankly, and you can get that, and you don't have to worry about all the other stuff. And it's just, I like how you've made it kind of, you can order the whole menu, or you can go a la carte and go that route. So, certainly cool. And then some of us know this, but if you're new to RangeForce, there's actually, you can sign up and use it for free, right? You're still doing the community edition?
Absolutely. And we encourage you to, get out there and register for that, to just get in touch and see how the modules play out. Share it with those, your folks on social media, LinkedIn or whatever, and, get them involved too. But we have 20 modules available on our community version of it. And you can find that at rangeforce.com on our website. You can just register. Someone will reach out and get you all squared away on that. But you can take 20 of the modules. We do cover blue team, some of our red team, our web application, and the like on there. Just a good overall taste of what we have available.
Yeah, so I brought it up here. So I have logged in to the community. This is what you get when you log in for free, and you can see, you've got the DevOps, the Microsoft security, some SOC training, 10 full modules. So there's a lot of value here and a lot of opportunity absolutely free. So, I personally appreciate it. Like for those of you who follow Simply Cyber and have been around for a minute, that I really promote and try to share out as much free education, as free content and stuff as possible. So, I really like that RangeForce gives the community the opportunity to really, try it on and wear it and see how it works. It's very nice.
Yeah, and if you are a member of community too, that's we first of all, thanks for joining that, and we really love the feedback we're getting through that. But also, keep an eye out. We're going to be changing out some modules and running some different things in there that kind of give you exposure to some specific new content as well. So we won't keep it to the same 23 forever. We'll change that out and make sure that it's engaging for you, and gives you a reason to come back and take some more of those modules.
So we're starting to get a little bit. Oh, real quick, I do want to promote, if you haven't entered the contest yet, we are running a live contest right now on the Discord server. I put a link in the comments. So if you don't see it, scroll up and you'll get to it. But all you have to do is go to the giveaway channel and click on the little icon. It looks like we've got just 16. We have 40 people watching and 16 that have entered. Somebody's going to get a full site license today. Around 4:45, so you still got 30 minutes to enter. And I want to promote that. Sorry to jump around, guys, but I really want as many people to enter that contest as possible. Oh, like 5 people just entered. Way to go, people.
Absolutely.
So, I've been talking really about key differentiators and stuff, but Jeff, what is, in your opinion, what makes RangeForce like the platform that people should be going to get this cybersecurity training?
I would say what really makes us stand out and makes us different is the variety on those battle paths. So organized variety, I think, is the best way to say it. When we look at the battle paths, we have ones for SOC 1 analyst to SOC 2 analyst. We go deep into threat hunting as well, and those really kind of gear you towards that career path there. So it's not just blue team or just defensive security, but actually going into that specific job role. We have battle paths also on our web application security. It's a little bit more on the offensive side. We have a Windows fundamentals or Windows core security. And then we also have things like secure coding, and we just rolled out our cloud security one, which is really interesting because it really helps you prepare for that really the next step of where we need to be securing things. So it's no longer just the on-prem architecture that we need to worry about, but all those cloud services. So that's something that's really exciting.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Cloud is definitely like a different paradigm all unto itself, and it's definitely the way of, I don't want to say the way of the future because it's already here, but like if I was younger in my career, I would start looking personally at cloud security because I know that there's going to be a huge demand for it, and it's not the same as securing traditional infrastructure, traditional on-prem, for sure. So from a user perspective, speaking of cloud security, Stefan, would it make sense to kind of get behind the keyboard and take a look at some stuff?
Yes, we can do that.
All right, so we're going to look at Stefan's system right here. Stefan, what are we looking at?
I have to move it over so I can see it better.
Okay, yep.
So, okay, I opened the module, and the module is about cloud, and this time it's about check me that. It's about the AWS instance metadata server-side request forgery, and okay, I click on it, then you see this thing. You have on the right side is a description what you can do, and on the left side is already open an editor. And all modules start like this. You have a story. And this is quite interesting because usually if you are a SOC analyst or a security person, this is just a little bit around, but it gives you a sense why are you doing this. So it's just here story. So you have a real perspective what you are doing. We can start it. So this is our first task. And usually it starts with text, and it's split up in 2 things. This one is what the command looks like, and here is the data. So you have to combine it together. I had no idea about AWS, So it was like the first time I ever saw something about AWS. I'm more on the Azure side. So it was interesting, what should I do? So if you don't have any ideas, you can check, like, okay, I can open the editor, this one. And if I don't know, like if I click, then it opens. So I see here like some website is some green, and then I say, okay, I have here like data. So I can see, maybe it matches, so I can just try. I can do that. Copy, to remove it. We'll see what happens.
Definitely flirting with disaster doing a live demo.
Okay. Okay, now we see we got a result. Here's something like called latest, and we see it got screen, so we did it right. But let's say I messed it up, because here we have here like a small thing, but there are round ones and different kind of things. So maybe I screwed it up. So I can go down, and here are like hints, and then I can go again, and then I can read, okay, write a Python code in the code editor. Okay, this is a code editor. Okay, I did it right. Okay, then I checked it. Maybe there was something still wrong. Maybe I get an error. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I copied it wrong. Okay, now you see something else, and so I messed it up. And then I can go down, okay, reveal solution, and then I see usually like the full command, and I can check and then say, okay, I see here, maybe I have to edit, or I can copy it again. Let's say we do that. Single quote, and I can try again. I really like this approach because it's not guessing a lot. So if you made a mistake, then you can easily check the solution. You can fix this small problem. So you don't spend like an hour for something what is not relevant actually. Okay, it's nice to you have the single quote, but it's not relevant for wasting an hour just to find this small little thing.
Yeah, and I think that that's a really important element to note here, is that even if you are, I guess like junior, or you're struggling, or you're new to the field or whatever, like the module, regardless of which one, we happen to be looking at this one, the module will give you everything you need. So you can get the comprehension, you can work through it and understand it. But if you are a little bit more seasoned, you're not just given the answer right away. You can work at it. And I've done a couple of these modules myself, and banged my head against the screen, the proverbial wall, just to figure it out, because I didn't want to reveal. I wanted to get it, and I eventually got it, and it felt good. But it really is applicable for different skill levels that are wanting to learn, frankly.
And that's something too, that we wanted to provide, that kind of like teacher over the shoulder atmosphere with this. And we call this the virtual teaching assistant for that reason, because it's kind of like, you always think of the teacher who kind of guides you along, where you may be struggling with something, they kind of point to that hint, point you to that area where it might be, check over here or something. And then, those of us who had to use this in math class, the answer in the back of the book, if you really have to go to it, okay, I'm stumped, I can't get this, let's go and check out what it is that I should be putting in there, to really kind of give you that hand holding through it as much as you need.
Yeah, and another thing that it may not be obvious from Stefan's display right now, but something that really immediately resonated with me when I logged into the platform for the first time, this is a full, I know this is the code editor, but like basically you're looking at a VM inside the browser, right? So a lot of you can pop a terminal shell, you can interface with the operating system, not yours, but like the virtualized one, all in your browser. So you don't need if you've ever had if you've ever had to build VirtualBox and then do network interfaces and try to screw around with that, or you have some application that runs locally and you got to configure proxy settings and stuff, it can be difficult. So really having that infrastructure built for you all in the browser is it's a really nice touch, and it really lowers the bar to entry for various skill levels.
And it does put you in that realistic situation. I know the one that Stefan's working with here uses that editor, but some of them do interface with the command shells and the like. So you actually are getting into that. And if you break something, you don't ruin that. You just reboot it and go back and start again. So you haven't destroyed your download. You don't have to wait another 4 hours to get something going again. You just restart, go right back into it, and kind of learn from that mistake.
Yeah. Stefan, is there any more in here you want to show, or should we bring it back and take some questions from the audience?
What I really like about it is it's on like a brick. Each of these blocks is a brick. It looks very, very small, but RangeForce gives you a lot of bricks, like this brick, this brick, this brick. I have like a cherry tree, so I collect all of these things, and at the end of the day, I have maybe 50 bricks, and I'm better in it. If I have a problem, and I remember I did this course before, and then I can use it in my job, actually. So it's very helpful, these small pieces of things. And if I go to the next objective, like harvesting credential, here I see the word latest. They are all like stacked together. So you know this one, you need this, and this one, maybe you need the next one. So it's all connected, and I really like it. It's not just random. It's just to give you a purpose to go this, this, and this. And it's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you hit on something else there too. Like, this is practical for the job. This isn't theory. This isn't some half-baked, scenario that's been cooked up. I mean, this is practical training for practical purposes that can be applied, not just at your job if you're already in cyber, but when you're talking in interviews, you can say like, I'm sorry, I don't have any experience working in a SOC, but I have used a SIM in a training platform that had real data, and I solved real problems, and this is how I did it. This is my analytical process, and it really helps you, learn the processes and then actually be able to communicate that you've done that work. So it's like an alternative way to get on-the-job work experience, which is always difficult when you're trying to get your first job in cybersecurity. It's very much a catch-22 of how do you get experience if you don't have any, but the job requires it, but it's entry level, and it's frustrating.
And I saw someone asked about that, like, is there anything that you can put on your resume when you complete one of these battle pass? And there is. So we do offer a badge with that. If you complete one of these battle pass, you do have that badge you can put on LinkedIn. You can share it on your resume and the like. It just kind of gives employers, and it gives other people that knowledge you have actually completed the different modules in the battle pass. So there's some kind of proof to back it up for you. Yeah,
that's a great point, Jeff. That is a great point. We got a question here for Jeff from Mercury 180. Mercury, thank you for submitting a question. It's for you, Jeff. He wants to know, what are the plans for RangeForce in the future? Particularly excited to see where the platform will go.
Well, we're taking a lot more battle pass that go a little deeper onto the whole analyst side of things. So we've got some in the works that we're planning on reverse engineering. For those of you that were in community and voted on that, thank you. We did ask some of our users which ones they'd like to see. So that was really popular. Malware analysis is always something that people really get into. So we have some stuff coming out on that, as well as like data protection and then digital forensics in the short term. And we do, we haven't forgotten those who are into the red team. So we do have some pen testing battle pass coming out as well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So I feel like RangeForce gets kind of marketed or branded as like the blue team training platform, but I guess, yeah, it's a good point. It is important to note that there is offensive, modules and education and in there to kind of scratch that itch. And also, I haven't taken any of them, but I've noticed that you guys have the cybersecurity essentials battle path, and I get asked a lot about how do I get in, or what's the first thing I do? And really, some fundamentals are absolutely critical, like understanding how networking works, even though it's not a security specific discipline. It's incredibly important to your ability to actually do cybersecurity work. If you don't know how a network works, then you're not going to be able to secure anything. So what is kind of can you kind of speak to the cybersecurity essentials one, as that might be really appropriate for some folks who are new to InfoSec?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like any industry where, we're notorious for jargon. So that was one of the first things we wanted to address in that cybersecurity essentials. I hear these things like SIM, SOAR, threat intel, STIX taxi. What does this mean even? So kind of taking people through that. Even something as we take for granted is the knowledge of like the kill chain. what does that mean, and how do attackers exploit the different steps throughout that? So introducing people to those core security concepts was important, and then also just kind of getting them really involved in what life is like in security. It's not we always kind of see it like on these movies and stuff like that, where we think of like someone hacking into something, they've got all these screens up there and things flying across them, and it really takes a lot of patience and a lot of problem solving skills, and we really want to introduce those concepts as well in that battle path.
I like it. We got some questions coming in from the audience. Friend of the show, friend of Simply Cyber, friend of mine, Joe Hudson. He's a cybersecurity recruiter, and he's actually quite good at it. And that's where he focuses on placing people. But he wants to know, what do you see as the most applicable level audience to suggest that they look into RangeForce and get the value out of it?
That's a great question, and thanks, Joe, for helping get some of these people into the industry and everything like that. It's really important to get people who are who enjoy it, but also are competent and well trained. If you look at the battle paths we have right now, a lot of them are that SOC analyst. So we do have like SOC analyst 1, SOC analyst 2, which is more of the entry level side of things. But we also wanted to make sure that we give some of that training for those people who are looking to expand their careers also. So we do offer like the threat hunter. We have reverse engineering coming out. So there's a lot of content for that beginner, but there's also a nice sampling of things that are really, really kind of difficult and challenge you to really bring you to that next level in cybersecurity. Some that come to mind, like our reverse engineering, I lost my train of thought on that one, but like our remote code execution modules, some of the stuff on our web application security, they really put you to the test and make sure that your skills are way up there when you try and tackle some of those.
Yeah, and I think to Joe's question too, since I'm constantly talking to people about how to get these non-traditional, education approaches to entering cybersecurity onto their resume and stuff. I mean, I think, like the badges, like you said, is great. And, with the cybersecurity essentials or the specific web app security one or the SOC one, I mean, because you can specifically, purchase the specific battle paths designed for a specific job set. I might even talk to the person and say, what do you want to do? Do you like web app? Like here is a good platform. If you were pivoting from like, not IT into cybersecurity, but you're pivoting from a non-IT role into cybersecurity, maybe you investigate the cybersecurity essentials one. And just to go back to that for a second, Jeff, I really appreciate that the cybersecurity essentials isn't just like, here's what the CIA try is, which is like the most, day one thing ever for security, but really about like what the industry is and kind of some meta information around cybersecurity as a profession. Because I feel like that's a real gap when most people are trying to learn about cybersecurity. It's usually more about the hard skills, like how do I do this in cybersecurity? Not so much, do I even want to work in cybersecurity? Is it a good fit for me personally?
Right, and that's something we wanted to take it beyond, information that you find out there. There's a lot of information on the CIA triad, so we wanted to take it beyond that. The people creating this have experience in working in a SOC, working in the different aspects of cybersecurity, whether it be pen testing, all the way through, threat hunting and the like. So we really want to bring their skills and what they've learned from being on the job so long, and kind of pass that knowledge on to our learners.
Yeah, we've got another question, but we've still got 10 minutes left. And I just want to remind people, I've dropped the link several times in comments. You can jump to our unofficial RangeForce Discord server, which Stefan administers, and there's a Simply Cyber channel, little piece of slice of heaven for me in there. We're running the giveaway there. All you have to do is click on this little celebration emoji thing to enter. I'm pleased to say we have 40 people now watching and 38 entries. So the two who haven't entered, you still got some time here, about 10 minutes left to jump in there. And, Stefan's one. Okay, that makes sense. jump in there and and sign up. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I definitely want to do that. So
I'll take a little plug on that too. So what Jared's giving away, that's access to over 500 modules currently, and more coming. We release about between 15 to 20 each week. So there's a constant stream of new content out there. So you're definitely getting a good value on that.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I definitely should have explained exactly what you were entering the giveaway for. Yeah, so it's a full platform license for a year to all of the content that RangeForce has today and forthcoming in the next 365 days. So question from the audience here. This is from an anonymous LinkedIn user. They want to know if the courses and modules are molded for each individual or if it's, a set path, one size fits all.
So our battle paths are molded for that one size fits all. If you come into it and purchase one of the battle paths, if you do purchase the full platform access though, you can pick and choose. So we'll suggest content in there through those battle paths, but you also can look at our different categories. So if you're interested in more of the SOC content, you can look in there. DevOps is broken out as well. And our challenges are broken. So if you want just that straight up learning and the modules, you can go through and just take those, or you can dive right into some of those challenges. But that's where the full license gives you a lot more flexibility, so you can kind of poke around and learn what it is that suits you or fits you best.
Yeah, and I appreciate that it's a year long too. So a lot of these things are like monthly subscription based, and it can be, you buy it with the best of intentions, and then life gets in the way, and you can't get to it in time, and then you lose it, and that can be frustrating. So 12 months is quite nice. Sam Varun from YouTube is asking here: is there a path for incident response in the range? And he says, if yes, can we check whether particular responses stopped a threat? So I guess the key question is there IR education in there?
Right. And what we have right now is stuff leading into incident response. So that's another one that we're planning out for our future roadmap, Sam, because it's one of the things that we want to really explore is what happens when you do something. If your response is to patch a server, well, if you patch a production server, you could be in trouble because that might bring down essential business services, or you might cut off customers or cut off people internally. So like learning how to respond appropriately, learning what the right response is just as important as being able to stop a threat. So that's something we have mapped out for the coming months.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Another question about kind of the platform and where we're going. Mohammed asks, the varieties of SIM vendors. So I guess, Jeff, what SIMs are currently represented in the platform, and is there, future state plans for growing that?
So currently we have Splunk, Elastic, and QRadar in there, and we're always bringing in new vendors. So that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is working with these vendors to get not only access to their products that we can bring in for their training, but a lot of times they're working with us to create this content. So they'll actually present to us some of the problems that their customers will have, and we can create training around that. Going beyond the SIM vendors, we do have QRadar in there as a SOAR to kind of teach how that orchestration and automation works. We have Phantom. We're also working with Recorded Future. So you get kind of a look into what threat intelligence looks like and how you can leverage that. There's a lot of really cool things to do with those vendor ones.
Awesome. Thank you. So just real quick, kind of quick hits in the comments, Stefan. Lily wants to specifically call a shout out to you. So hi.
Hi, Lily.
Yeah, we got some love here. Appreciate it. A lot of people are very happy with all the content and education that Jeff and Stefan, you guys are rocking right now. So really appreciate all you out there. If you got any questions, throw them in the chat, and I will make sure that we get them answered here. So, Stefan, I guess I know we talked a little bit, but can you kind of talk? You've done a lot. I mean, there's still so much more on the platform that you haven't had a chance to get to yet. But from your perspective, which battle pass have you done, or what is your, I guess, reflection on what's the best, not the best, but which ones have you done that you're like, wow, like I really want to tell people about this?
I started with SOC 1 to get the basics, and then I did SOC 2, and there's at least one challenge in it, and I found it fantastic. It's like you get like the first outlet, and then it tells you, there's like a hacker group outside the botnet, and it's targeting your company, and you have 45 minutes time to bring down the botnet. And it's fantastic. So first, then okay, you get the hint. It's somewhere in your system. You get like IP range. Then you do like a little bit of Nmap scan, and then you find here's the botnet. And then you open the HTTP website, and then you see, okay, you are locked out, so you cannot in. So you have to break in. I cannot say what it is a channel, but you have to break in, and then you are in, and then you see like a big screen, and there are like a command and control center here, like a lot of red dots, and they attack different machines, and then you can take over the control center and then kill them down. It's very, very interesting. It's one fantastic lab. I was really excited about it.
I find myself like holding my breath as you were explaining that like the level of intensity there got escalated quickly. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. So that's in the SOC 2 battle path, Stefan?
Yeah, I think it's a challenge in SOC 2. So that's why I cannot share it, because if I share, then...
Right. And yeah, that's what we try and do with those as well, is include some of those challenges in there. So it's not just going through the modules, but then putting you into that real situation. Like our SOC 1, we focus a lot on the email challenges. So you're looking at header analysis, URL analysis in an email. And what we try and do is make sure that you have appropriate training to get into that. And a lot of our battle paths also have that capstone at the end. So if you're able to complete that capstone challenge, you don't only earn the badge for the battle path, but you get the elite badge. And that means you are able to complete kind of a day in the life of a SOC analyst type thing. So what you would have to do in a full scale, investigation there.
Yeah, and like fun fact, when you're doing the capstone project, the hints are no longer there, right? So I mean, you truly have to complete it on your own.
Yep. Yeah. You have to go through the modules. If you're a seasoned analyst, I know we've had some people in the blue team challenge that had a little trouble with it too. So it does benefit you to go through the modules and complete those first.
Yep. So real quick, Venkat, I just want to say it's midnight in India, and he or she, I'm not sure, has jumped on. So appreciate you staying up late to be on the live stream with us. Mysterious D's jumping in here, wanting to talk about pricing. Jeff, you had mentioned earlier what people should do because to get information on pricing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you missed that, reach out to sales@rangeforce.com. And they'll kind of work with you to find the right package for you, whether it's an individual battle path or, if the full license is something that's best for you, based on feasibility, cost and everything like that. And again, I can't stress enough, if you want to just see what it looks like, get into community and start playing around with those. It's a great way to look at the modules and really see what they're all about. Yeah,
and I want to just take a moment to shout out, Mysterious D put this in the chat earlier, but has secured a job in cybersecurity in part because of Simply Cyber. So I'd like to congratulate Mysterious D on that accomplishment. Well done and congratulations.
Nice work. Awesome.
Yeah. So, Jeff, one thing that has completed, but I do want to highlight it. And by the way, you got 1 minute until the drawing finishes. The Blue Star Challenge, right? So this was a time-boxed contest that RangeForce ran, and it was wildly popular. Can you kind of talk about what it was a little bit? And I'd love to get Stefan's thoughts afterwards on his perception from it. But can you kind of talk about what that was and perhaps if it's going to happen again?
Yeah, absolutely. So we came up with the idea for that just to really engage more of our community members and get them kind of going through some of the more focused SOC type modules. So the idea for the Blue Star Challenge came up to run them through those modules. And again, like you said, it was a shortened period of time where you would run through these different modules in community. And then we added 3 additional challenges to that. So you'd have to go through the email, the threat and tell challenge, and then that Blue Star Challenge, which is very similar to the SOC 1 capstone. and it really kind of tests your skills throughout those three. With the email one being a little bit easier, we saw a lot of people complete that one. As they move into the threat intel, it gets a little tougher. So, now you're really analyzing and looking for matching those patterns of what an IOC would look like against what different threat actors' TTPs are, and then finally jumping into that last challenge. That one threw some people, like we said. That was a little more difficult, but we had a lot of folks finish it. It was great to see that. So lets us know that those modules are working to help prepare people for that.
Yeah. Stefan, what was your perspective on the Blue Star Challenge?
This challenge started on, I think, around Christmas, and it was my first real contact with the blue side. And I tried, and then I got knocked back, and I tried again, I got knocked back, and I said, okay, good, I do the modules first. So because I had access to everything, then I did all the modules first, and then I got hand back, and then, but later it's maybe I spent a lot of time in it, and then finally I got it. So it was like yes, I made it, but it was a hard way to do that. And I found out, so these modules there's not one single path. So it's goal-based. So it's up to you to find goals. So there are multiple ways how to configure the Ricata or the rules or IP tables. And if you find a way, then it's fine. That's great about that. So it's just result-based. That's great.
Yeah, that's a good point, Stefan. It is, we do change things up. Some of those modules are, changes up a little bit. So what your answer is may not be the answer that someone, even sitting next to you is when they're taking that content or the module. It might be a little bit different there, just to kind of change it up so that so people aren't sharing those answers, throughout an organization or sharing them online or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Like I saw people on LinkedIn. There was like a leaderboard, and people were, beating their chest about where they were on it and disclosing like when they completed it and stuff like that. So it really had a lot of great, like competitive spirit. You know what I mean? I really liked it. So I do want to do a quick shout out here. The contest has completed, and congratulations to Tron Demon. For winning it. He also just said, it looks like Jason Griffiths, hey, I just got notified that I won. So congratulations, Jason. I'll connect with you through the Discord channel and get you sorted out and get you that prize. So congratulations to you. And thank you for playing.
Yeah, congrats, Jason. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, so we got a couple more minutes here, but I want to get to some more Q&A. Before we wrap up the show and jump over to Clubhouse. Ruben says, this question's for Stefan. Stefan, basically what was your knowledge level before you got into RangeForce, and how much more comfortable did you feel with the topics after completing the modules? Great question.
So I actually started on the red side. So I did like difficult hands-on, so it took me like 700 hours to get it, but I'm very blank on the blue side. But it didn't, sometimes you see like a string or something hidden, like how to attack a system, and I'm an attacker. So I see, okay, this looks very suspicious. So I saved a little bit of time, but actually on the blue side, I was pretty much empty. Like I was working as a system admin. So of course I know their blocks are here and the logs are here, but from the perspective of a SOC analyst, I had no idea. But now I think this helped me a lot. Like these modules, they make me fit job ready, I would say, from my perspective. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. And I mean, really at the end of the day, that's what the platform is supposed to do, right? Give you that education, fill in the gaps you have, give you the confidence to be able to execute in a workplace environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Give you experience and exposure to this stuff is really, in that safe, controlled environment is really what we want to do there.
I think some modules are really, really great. First, you attack something, and I had this knowledge before, but later you switch to the defensive side. Then you see what happens in the log, and then you use the tools to see what you actually did. And that's really, really great. I really enjoyed these modules before. Like, oh, yes, I got it. And it's very easy to understand, at least for me, because the modules were not so difficult, because everything is step by step, and it's really great.
So one thing I want to highlight or comment before we kind of do last call is, we have this, like I'm taking partial ownership of this. Stefan manages this unofficial RangeForce Discord server. Now it's unofficial because it's not sponsored or directly supported or owned by RangeForce. It's completely separate. Stefan runs it, but there's a lot of RangeForce people on there. The Discord server, if I could bring it up, I would. But basically, there's channels in there for talking about the different battle paths. There's some general channels just for like cybersecurity banter. Obviously, the Simply Cyber channel is in there, as I mentioned earlier. But I've put the link in the comments. But I just want to encourage people who are interested in cybersecurity, even beyond RangeForce, that yes, we're talking RangeForce on that server, but it goes way bigger than that. And there's a really, really good community. I'm on several Discord servers. And I can tell you, I really like this community in the discussion and the professional networking, if you will, that goes on in that server. So I encourage you to at least check out that Discord server. You can be a lurker and look at what's going on without engaging. And if it's your speed, then jump into the conversation. And if it's not, that's cool. No harm, no loss. So, and thank you to Stefan for managing that and setting that up. That was a really great initiative. And I can tell you personally, I see it's paying dividends.
Yes.
It helps us out. It helps us out quite a bit. Like you said, there's a few of us in there. I go in there from time to time. We get great feedback from you all. And I think that we've had people actually, reach out to our sales team and chat with them. And even a couple people get help from some of our sales engineers walking them through things.
And it's true that there's sometimes you have bugs in it because some modules are better, but usually you get like a response in a few days, sometimes even in hours, and they say already fixed it. And so, what? That's really great. So it's just, so it's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I forgot about that. Like the kind of the real-time feedback cycle that RangeForce staff are actively in the Discord and, willing to take feedback or even suggestions like, hey, would love to see, like threat hunter type modules or, would love to see this tool set or whatever. And it's so much better than just like drop us a comment on like a company's website. That's like very much an early 2000s way of providing feedback. This is much more modern and much more real time to really engage and facilitate that feedback with RangeForce.
And something else too is if you leave that feedback in the modules when you complete them, or even end it, so you don't even have to finish it successfully, but any of that feedback, we monitor that in real time as well. So that's where Stefan was saying, if we notice that something's down, we put our teams right on that to fix it, because we know your time is limited too. We don't want you guys to have to spend time that's sitting there trying to struggle through a bug or something like that. We get on that right away and get you back to learning.
Awesome. So let me just pump this really quick, and then we'll do last call. So just a reminder to everybody, this is relatively new, but I'm trying this out because when you go to conferences, when you're done talking and you step down off the stage, sometimes there's like a little scrum that comes up and you continue the conversation into the hallway. I'm doing that for all my live streams, starting with this one. So Clubhouse, if you have it, come join and we can chat in there and see what's cracking. Okay. So as we round out, Stefan, what are your final thoughts? What would you like people to take away about RangeForce and if you wanted to take it even bigger, about like cybersecurity education and professional development for yourself?
I would say I tried a lot of different courses and modules. I think over my career, maybe 50 modules. And this is one of 15 different courses from different vendors. I think it's a really great platform because it gives you hands-on and you have a community to talk, and it's broken into small pieces and it's not guessing. So you accept the challenges, of course, but the rest is just, you can learn step by step, this step, and then you can wrap it together and then you can use it in your career. And that's really, really great. So for like career readiness, I would say it's a great platform. Yeah,
thank you. Jeff, what would you like to tell the audience? We got 47 people strong. We've been keeping a steady stream of the audience here. What would you like to let them know as we round out here?
Yeah, come, like I said, come check out our community site if you haven't had any experience with RangeForce at all, and see what it's all about. And reach out to our sales team if you are interested. We'll get you on the platform and everything like that. And if you're not a member of that Discord server, please join that, because again, we use that for different feedback and really kind of getting that voice of the customer to myself and the rest of our product team.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. And real quick, if people wanted to connect with you on social media, obviously rangeforce.com is where you go to get the platform and stuff. But, Stefan, you're very active in the community. Jeff, you're on LinkedIn and such. How should people connect with you?
Definitely check me out on LinkedIn. With Jerry's announcement, I've gotten a lot of you have reached out to connect and everything like that. So feel free to, and if you want to reach out with questions or anything like that, I'll get back to you as soon as I can with those. Whether it's about RangeForce, cybersecurity, or even working on the other side where you're not, working in cybersecurity, but on the product side of it. Okay.
And Stefan, how do people get up with you?
To me, it's the same. Like, drop a message on LinkedIn. I have 6,000 friends. That's a lot. Sometimes I get a lot of messages, so be patient. So it takes time to answer all of them, but still, it's just drop a request and then talk to me, and then I will help you.
All right, perfect. And we got a question in here. It looks like Joe Hudson is replying to it. I do want to give a shout, or not a shout out, but announce. First of all, thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Stefan, for being here today and talking about RangeForce and giving your time to the Simply Cyber community. And thank you to all of you who have attended our talk and been part of it. I do want to tease this. Joe Hudson, who's in the crowd right now, is going to be on Simply Cyber on February 25th for this absolutely lit talk on Cyber Resume Gold. And one of the attendees is asking about this in the comments right now. Joe is a cybersecurity recruiter. He helps people get jobs in cybersecurity. He sees resumes all the time. If your resume wants to get tightened up, or how do you put RangeForce on your resume? Do you put just the badge? Do you put the classes you took? Do you put the battle path? How do you properly represent it on a resume? That's what we're going to be talking about. Like, absolutely go to LinkedIn, hit the reminder button or whatever. You're not going to want to miss this, because I'm pumped about it and I'm the one who's doing it. So absolutely check that out. So that's going to do it for our show today. Thank you, everybody. It's been fun. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you out there. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.